It's an afternoon probably best suited for skating in Central Park, but we're across the river, and we are in for a cold one at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Detroit Lions and the New York Jets. Greg Zuerlein set to get us started here, and off we go from MetLife Stadium. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And some room to maneuver. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium at East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Detroit Lions and the New York Jets. Greg Zuerlein set to get us started here, and off we go from MetLife Stadium. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
First down, and they go with Swift again. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson. This defense for the Jets, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
On second down, Swift. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Throwing on third, Goff. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Wilson's throw here going to be caught by Wilson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot, because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll get this up to about the 40.
We are watching a runner having a really nice game. Carrying it very well. Vision is excellent, but boy, look at the help he's getting. Offensive line, I think they're pretty eager to block for him.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And this will wind up a Lions 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wilson. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. The Jets at 7-6, a game over 500 on the year, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Going for it all. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. A play fake for Swift. Now Goff. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll save him on this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Now Goff. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. When you think of guys that are built to be big-arm quarterbacks, Jared Goff, he fits that mold, and he showed it off right there. From the red zone now, Goff. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Josh Reynolds His second touchdown on the season. And the Lions have moved out in front. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They are back over the 500 mark for the season. Got there with a win a week ago, their second straight victory.
Well, they've definitely gotten better as this season has gone along, and from what I can tell, they know their roles. Everyone understands how they fit offensively, defensively, and this team now has an identity, and they're playing to it and playing well.
Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Wilson. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 38-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Nice job. Nice patience right there. Put him on the right side. Let him work his way across. Put the ball in his hands and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action now. Wilson. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Offense was moving it a little bit. Had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Paul ought to give up the middle. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a first at the Lions' 30. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
Well, that was big right there, because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. And able to work his way down to the 16. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
Now Wilson. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch,
but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
They were in a very good position to come up with a go-ahead score there. A really good drive. Instead, it turns into 6 points going the other way. Psychologically, I don't know what that's going to do to them.
So as a coach, you're looking at that as at least a 10-point swing, right? Because they had the field goal in their back pocket.
They certainly did, and you're right. At least a 10-point swing. Maybe more.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From the 29, Wilson. He's got the connection to Moore. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Come on, set.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 42 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. They'll set up the screen for Hall. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple. But even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. There's Hall bringing in another one. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple.
Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, get me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
To throw again on second down, Wilson. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Jets get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Zerline good with a PAT. And it makes it a 14-10 ball game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's right. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. Looking for right, and he finds him. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Again, Goff. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Goff. And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Badgley able to knock this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this 2nd half. Berrios now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Ball again on second down. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Lions have recovered. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On second and 9, Goff. And he wisely will throw that one away. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
So they've been unable to capitalize on a great field position as of yet. Here's third and 9. Out of the gun. Goff. And that is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. One incompletion, two incompletion. They're going for more.
Badgley's kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On second and 9, Wilson. Flush to his right. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now a play fake, and it's Goff. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for a save. his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards.
When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down. Back to throw, Goff. This pass complete to Reynolds. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on him.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
And he's going to be stopped at about the 37.
63 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Hey, 76! 76! Here we go, fellas, here we go.
Goff a handoff here to Swift.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 2nd and 7, Goff. This is caught.
And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Here's Swift.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Go, go, go.
They'll run it with Williams. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll run with Swift.
And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
They'll try it now with Swift. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown.
DeAndre Swift with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles, if they're going to try to pull off an impression. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And into the end zone. A scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Throwing is Wilson. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They'll run with Hall. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 58 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Levi Onwuzurike charging in and finishing off the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. This is taken at the 18. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Rolling to his left.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Quan Alexander.
And the Jets are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
Well, they're putting that defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. Touchdown! Breece Hall, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Jets get a bit closer. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. He oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw in this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A quick throw complete to Chark. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And some space here. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
44 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They go back to the ground. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Jets have recovered.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked by Tracy Walker. And the Lions will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And the tackle there by Quan Alexander. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
Brandon, Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Once again, it's Swift.
That he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Now this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard in the last timeout on the very first play of the drive. They threw
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Now that's a tough throw because he's moving to his left. He's got to get his shoulders pointed back right to throw it all the way across field to try and connect. Unable to do so.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Open man here is Conklin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
Ready.
Now Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw again is Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They're going on fourth down. It's Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Jets. Elijah Moore, 57 yards. And the Jets have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Here we go, tonight.
And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards.
Here we go.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Lions,
Their chances of finishing over 500, they remain alive as they move to 6-8 on the year.
and they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Jets, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.